Fox 5 News at Noon starts right now.
Fulton County election officials confirmed 5 bomb threats just minutes after polls opened. And the reason why thousands of voters who requested absentee ballots in Cobb County need to get them in sooner rather than later.
And the clouds around this morning giving way to sun later this afternoon. We're checking out the rest of your Election Day forecast, plus rain on the way for the middle part of the week.
Of course, you know the big story today is Election Day. It is here. Fulton County officials just told us this morning 5 bomb threats just happened minutes after the polls opened in Metro Atlanta for the Election Day. Thank you so much for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Alex Whitler. Now officials want those locations to stay open longer to accommodate impacted voters. We have live TV coverage for you this afternoon all across Metro Atlanta. Fox 5's Angelique Proctor joins us live from Fulton County with the latest on this distraction. Angelique, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Alex. A distraction indeed. Now, Fulton County election officials tell me they are already securing court orders to make sure that those polling sites that were affected will be able to stay open at least 30 minutes longer to make up for that lost time. Fulton County election officials say all 177 polling locations opened on time Tuesday morning. Voting had been brisk with almost 30,000 people casting their ballots by 10 o'clock. That smooth opening, though, was quickly disrupted in South Fulton, where election officials say phony bomb threats came in at Itris Community Center and C.H. Gallant Elementary School on Dotson Road. Both polling sites were temporarily closed. Evacuations occurred and security sweeps were done. Fortunately, because it is Election Day, no students were on any of the campuses. A phony threat was also called in at Feldwood Elementary School. Police moved right in and secured all 5 buildings.
Earlier today, unfortunately, we did have 5 non-credible bomb threats that were reported, leading to a temporary evacuation of 2 locations for approximately 30 minutes each. Thankfully, these locations are now operational again, and all polling sites are secure with active security presence.
Again, we want to stress none of those threats were credible. The Southern Poverty Law Center, as well as election officials, want everyone to feel safe while casting their ballots. Now, keep in mind there is an armed police officer at all of those precincts, so they want voters to feel safe. They also say with 30,000 casting ballots by 10 a.m., they expect that it will be 100,000 people by 7 o'clock or 7:30 in those instances tonight. Reporting live in Fairburn, Angelique Proctor, Fox 5 News.
Okay, Angelique, thank you. Not too long ago, we got an update from Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger. He talked about wait times and also when we can expect to know results. Fox 5's Caitlin Pratt joins us live from a polling precinct in Avondale Estates. Caitlin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, Alex. That's right. And the numbers, you're going to be pretty impressed by your fellow Georgians, how many people have already come out, cast their ballots. But let's talk about security, touching on why they were able to react in Angelique's case to all those different locations so easily. They had a plan in place. Law enforcement agencies across the state, they've had roundtable meetings leading up to today's general election. And that's why they were able to respond so quickly to any threats, any distractions, things of that nature. Now, Raffensperger, as you mentioned, spoke at election headquarters this morning. He says it's been a smooth sailing so far. Turnout solid and steady, more than you would think because the lines are moving really quickly, less than 10 minutes time in and out, according to the Secretary of State. 4 million early and absentee ballots, they're going to be uploaded and reported 1 hour after polls close tonight at 7 p.m. And by the end of the night, we should know all of those results.
Most polls will be closing at 7 p.m., so by 8 p.m. you'll have probably 99% of all that. So that'll be uploaded. So you get a good idea of what the race looks like. Then all the voting that you're seeing today, before the end of the night, you'll have all of that. Many of the smaller counties are pushing to be done by 10:30 at the latest. But that's the type of response you're going to see in the smaller counties. But by the end of the night, you'll have all of those results.
And of course, we will keep you updated as we get those numbers. And we're also learning what you should do if you maybe do encounter any sort of problems at the polls. Go ahead, contact your county board of registrar's office, or you can always contact the Georgia Secretary of State. Submit a complaint online as well. They have a special section to do that on the Secretary of State Elections Division website. That's the latest here in Avondale Estates this afternoon. I'm Caitlin Pratt, Fox 5 News.
Caitlin, thank you. In Jones County, a poll worker faces prison time for a reported bomb threat to the election superintendent. Nicholas Wimbish lives in Milledgeville. The Department of Justice says last month he got into an argument with a voter. Wimbish faces up to 25 years in prison. We've got more on that on our website, fox5atlanta.com. Now, if you're a Cobb County voter who received an absentee ballot, you should assume your ballot must be received tonight by 7 p.m. That's because the Georgia Supreme Court stayed or held off on a lower court's decision to extend the deadline to return absentee ballots. Fox 5's Brooke Zahner is live at the Cobb County Civic Center to explain. Brooke.
Yeah, a lot of people impacted by this, Alex. About 3,400 absentee ballot requests here in Cobb County were received late, and Cobb County election officials are now saying that if you have a ballot, you should drop it either at your county election office or vote at your assigned precinct today. But the reason behind all of this, according to election officials, is a surge, they say, in last-minute absentee ballot requests and equipment failures. That is what caused that delay. Now, the order that came down from the Georgia Supreme Court only addresses a motion for a stay, meaning that a final ruling on this has not yet been made. But for the time being, again, Cobb County election officials may only count absentee ballots that were received by 7 p.m. tonight. And we talked to one individual who came here this morning. She had requested an absentee ballot and ended up voting in person because she never received that ballot.
I was just trying to avoid the lines and the craziness because I know how people can get and emotions run high on election day, so I didn't want to be in the middle of any unexpected situation.
Now, if you're a Cobb County voter and you've been impacted by this, you should have been notified by email and text message. And again, best to turn in that absentee ballot in person at your county election office. You can also go ahead and cancel that ballot, go to your assigned polling place today, and cast your vote in person as well. It's a developing story we will continue to watch. But for now, that is the latest here live in front of the Cobb Civic Center. I'm Brooke Zahner, Fox 5 News.
Okay, Brooke, thanks for staying on top of that for us. We'll also watch other elections on the ballot here, including the race for the state legislature. All 56 Senate and 180 House seats are on the ballot. Also, congressional elections. So races for the House and Senate will determine which party holds the majority in several tax measures. Now, we have talked a lot about battleground states over the past several months, but what is it about Georgia that makes it such a pivotal player in this election? Well, first of all, electoral votes. Georgia has 16 of them, making it a significant prize for both parties. There are also demographic shifts over the past decade that have made Georgia more diverse and therefore more competitive compared to previous elections. It traditionally leaned more Republican, many of you know. Analysts also look at recent trends. In 2020, and for the first time in a presidential election since 1992, Georgia flipped to blue. President Biden took the win in a narrow margin, signaling Georgia is no longer reliably Republican. And another contributing factor here, voter mobilization. Georgia has seen significant efforts from both parties to galvanize voters, including numerous visits from both Trump and Harris. Now, don't forget to join Fox 5 Atlanta for complete election coverage. It starts today, this afternoon at 3:30 with a show called Battleground. Then you can join us from 4 to 7 for Fox 5 News, followed by Fox's Democracy 2024. Join us again at 10 o'clock for all the Georgia results on Fox 5 News. Okay, that was a lot of politics for you this election day, but hey, if you tuned into the news for that, you knew what you were coming into. Let's go ahead and focus on the weather now. It looks quite gray out there, Alex, but no rain quite just yet, right?
Yeah, we've seen a couple of sprinkles, but nothing meaningful across North Georgia. That's going to be tomorrow. We're actually going to have a decent chance of that here across the metro area. Let me show you what's going on right now, starting off with a look at the Georgia's own credit union building with the message for you in case you didn't know. Yeah, today's election day. Don't know how you could miss it. Temperatures, they're in the 70s now. And look at this, at the airport officially, we're measuring mostly cloudy skies, which means we have a peak of sunshine somewhere. And that's going to become more noticeable through the afternoon. afternoon, and that rain technically at the airport at 0.00 over the past several days. Here's Fox 5 Live Viper. Take a look at what's going on out to the west. The cold front's trying to push towards our area, but some severe weather back into Louisiana. That's going to stay over there. For us here in North Georgia, we do have a couple of sprinkles out there. However, those sprinkles are sitting low enough from the radar beam that we're not even seeing them on the radar. So if you see 1 or 2 raindrops, that's going to be it. 72 now in Atlanta, 75 in Griffin, 77 already in Coweta County, 78 in LaGrange. Notice our wind has shifted a bit as well and is now coming out of the south through the afternoon. We're going to keep that warming trend going as these clouds begin to get on out of here across North Georgia. So 76 by the 3 p.m. hour, and then yes, that sunset 5:40 something tonight. It's just going to take some getting used to. As soon as the sun does dip below the horizon, though, the temperatures, they will begin to cool off. So for today, I'm going with 76 in Atlanta, gusty winds, 25 miles an hour with sun expected later in the day. But Alex, a whole lot of rain potentially down to the south. We're going to time that out hour by hour with the forecast model in just a couple of minutes.
Okay, we look forward to that, Alex. Thank you. Home Depot co-founder Bernie Marcus has died. In 1979, the first Home Depot stores opened here in Atlanta, and it became one of the world's biggest and most recognizable brands. Marcus and his wife Billy started the Marcus Institute, which today is the Marcus Autism Center. They also built the Georgia Aquarium, helped with the revitalization of Grady Memorial Hospital, and committed to give away most of their money during their lifetimes. The Home Depot released a statement saying, in part, the entire Home Depot family is deeply saddened by the death of our co-founder, Bernie Marcus. We owe an immeasurable debt of gratitude to Bernie. He was a master merchant and retail visionary. Bernie Marcus was 95 years old. A woman known as the Falcons Bird Lady was arrested. What she's accused of doing or not doing that landed her behind bars. Plus, how North Carolina is helping people affected by Hurricane Helene. Get out and vote.